Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Justin Poulos and I'm an OT and stick specialist from ILS Rehab. And today we're going to talk about wheelchair locks. And today's video is sponsored by Mum and Dad's beautiful plum tree. This tree was like this tall when I was born. Now, first of all, I call them wheelchair locks for a very important reason. There are wheelchair brakes and there are wheelchair locks. Today we're just going to be talking about wheelchair locks. So the first wheelchair lock we're going to talk about are the ones on this chair over here. But they're essentially most commonly known as compact scissor locks. Compact scissor locks are probably the most misunderstood brakes on the market. You either love them or hate them, and I think people hate them is because when you try to take them off, they're incredibly hard to take off, but only if you do it the wrong way. So I find that for people that are in the chair, as long as they bring that angle of push to a lower position, they're really easy to come off. When I pulled up here for using this wheelchair for my knee, my mum tried to take these off and she screamed at these things because she just could not get them off. And that is because if you're standing, it is really hard to get that line and pull correct. The reason why they're really good is not only because they're lightweight, which they are, but they also get pretty far out of the way when you're going to push. So when you're doing your propulsion, even if you stick your thumbs out a bit, they're not going to clip onto the hardware. The other brakes I'll talk about are push-to-lock brakes. They're the simple ones where they have a handle over here and you push them in and they're locked. Probably the more common ones you've seen on any wheelchair ever made. The problem with them is that when they're in the unlock position, so when you pull them off to release, so the hardware tends to stick out. So what happens is that when people try to push, and if they do stick their thumbs out a bit, they may hit that hardware time and time and damage their thumbs. Which is why people move to either these brakes or, number three, pull-to-lock brakes. Pull-to-lock brakes works the same as push-to-lock, but instead of pushing the lever down to lock them, you pull it to lock it. So what that means is that now when you push, the levers are stuck down and out of the way, giving your hands free range of motion. A little uncommon type of brake is like an ergo scissor brake, which is a brake that sits underneath the chair under here, and you essentially pull it and it locks a little lever that goes onto it. Now these are really good because you can get quite a lot of force and energy onto it, so you can get really strong brakes. But it does require you to have some hip range of motion to be able to get down and not have any injuries or anything going on over here that may impede your ability to go under your seat. They're also really good because they get completely out of the way. So even with these compact scissor locks, they still have something in the way, so you can, if you do have your thumbs out, you could hit them. With the ergo scissor brakes, get completely out of the way. The last lock I'll talk about are D-lock brakes. Now D-lock brakes are essentially, we mount a wheel onto the wheel, and this wheel has holes in it, and it's got like a pin. When you engage it, the pin will go through the hole and it will completely lock the brakes. You don't need to readjust them, they're never going to get loose. It's always going to be locked into that position. Sometimes they do have a bit of play in it, so for people that really want the brakes to be locked in solid, those D-lock brakes can have a bit of movement.